Okay, Christina here to listen to some music. And today's music selection is Nights in White Satin by the Moody Blues. So the Moody Blues is a band that I think I've heard of before, but I couldn't tell you what songs they've done. I'm not sure if I've heard their songs. If I have, I didn't know it. Certainly didn't take a close listen. So I think that's enough to say that this is a first listen, even though there is something familiar about it, but I'm not sure what it is yet. And not everything has to be a first listen on this channel. I do plan on doing a lot of deep dives on this channel. I also want to share music on the channel that I really love. But either way, my perspective is that I am a professional classically trained musician, instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, and professor. So we talk about pretty much everything that we can in this music. I learn a little something, and hopefully so do you. Things are going really well here on the channel, and that's thanks to all of you. So be sure to like and subscribe, become a channel member, join me over on Patreon, support the channel on Ko-fi. We're really creating some great music communities in all of these places, and this is just a real joy. So again, thanks. Okay, so enough talking. Let's listen. Okay, so what I do know about the Moody Blues is that they are a British rock band. They started in 1964. This song, Nights in White Satin, was released in 1967, and I believe it has to do with love. It might be a love song, maybe a breakup song, but it seems to be pretty popular. And the version of this that I'm going to be reacting to today is from a live performance about 15 years ago. And this brings up the whole question that I've mentioned recently in some other videos, the difference of, live versus studio recordings and what I use to react to here. It's tricky, but I'm trying to keep a good balance. I know not everybody's going to be happy, so I do apologize to those who are ever disappointed in one of my videos. All I can say is, if I listen to the studio version and you would rather hear the live version, sit tight for a while because I will probably go back and do the live version and be able to compare to the studio version and vice versa. So if I listen to the live version first, I'll go back and do the studio version. That won't happen with every single reaction on the channel, but enough of them that a lot of people will be a lot happier. So having said that, I am very much looking forward to seeing this concert. Again, I just don't really know anything about this band, and live performances are exciting. So here we go.
Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I'd always miss with these eyes before. What the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, yeah. Gazing at people, some hand in hand, just what I'm going through, you can't understand. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend. Just what you want to be, you will be in the end. And I'll love you. Yes, I'll love you.
Okay, I'm going to stop before we get into the flute solo. That looks interesting. I don't think that person is in the orchestra. I think that I saw that person out on the front of the stage. Okay, I totally got goosebumps and chills there at the end because it was beautiful. Oh, this is beautiful. It's sort of dreamy and sort of solemn at the same time. So, I'm going to have to look at the lyrics really quickly here. All right, so let's see. Nights in White Satin. And so I have to admit, I think I've heard that melody line, the Nights in White Satin, but I don't remember anything else after that. So, but I'm so glad I get to hear the rest of the song. Okay, so Nights in White Satin, never reaching the end, letters I've written, never meaning to send. 'Cause I love you, yes, I love you. Oh, I heard that both times. It was very, very sweet. And the way the vocalists were singing that, the main soloist and then the harmony on top, they were just wailing about loving someone. It was beautiful. Gazing at people, some hand in hand. Just what I'm going through, they can't understand. I definitely am catching on here with the solemnness and the wailing about love. So, excellent. Let's back it up just a little bit so we can get into this little flute solo. And of course, the orchestra is lovely. Very much enjoying that. But we're going to keep listening for now.
White satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never mean to send. Beauty I'll always need, with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore. 'Cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, yeah.
Okay. That was really beautiful. Loved the orchestration. Loved the orchestra. That's a full symphony orchestra there. Fantastic strings. Fantastic brass section. And woodwinds. But I don't know how much to get into that. I really want to get into it. Because that's my area of expertise. But I don't know how much of that is in the original, the studio version. And even if it was, I wouldn't be watching a live performance of it. So I'll comment a little bit on the performance aspect here. But there is so much going on here with the song itself performed by the band members on the front of the stage that I don't think my love for the orchestra is going to overshadow that. I think that happened a little bit with my reaction to A Whiter Shade of Pale, that they did so many close-ups with the orchestra that that's kind of where my focus went. That's why I'm going to go back at some point and do the studio version of Whiter Shade of Pale. It's a good idea to do that. Do the live version, go back into the studio. Do the studio version, go back and do a live version. Okay, but this performance, it was dreamy. It was stellar. It had a little bit of everything in it. And again, I don't know how much is in the original, but it doesn't matter because I enjoyed this particular performance. All of the musicianship was top notch. The song itself, like the heart of the song, the melody, the beat is just gorgeous. I love it. And I happen to really be drawn to sort of heavier music in minor keys with grand gestures from the instruments. But sometimes I also like a happier song too. This one I don't think was so happy. This sounds more like a breakup song or a heartbroken kind of song. And if I remember correctly, the lyrics are the white satin is in reference to white satin sheets. So we're talking about a night of a lot of passion, and then something happens and that relationship ends. So the vocals, as I said before, they were really impressive, really engaging. The lead vocalist started out in the beginning with a really smooth voice. The delivery of what he was singing was clear and in tune. And that's saying a lot for a live performance like this. And, you know, he's an older gentleman. And sometimes as we get older, we lose a little bit of control over our voices, our singing voices and speaking voices. His voice sounded great to me. Again, I don't know what to compare it with, but I can imagine him being a younger singer, like back in the 60s, and it sort of sounding the same today. Then in the chorus, where he's wailing the, oh, I love you, and I love you, oh my goodness. I think I could just listen to that chorus over and over again. It was so beautiful. And the way he's vocalizing that, he's really pushing his chest voice up there, and he's singing right over the top of his break, so he gets almost that yodel sound in the middle of it where his voice breaks. And it happens, I heard it more than once, and it happens in a really perfectly timed spot in the lyrics where it just really sounds like someone crying, just speaking from the depths of their heart. And then you add the other vocalist, which I'm assuming is another member of this band, who is singing up higher and doing the same thing. Their voices really matched really well, and that harmony was just really beautiful. I could see this as a slow dance song. I'm imagining that this song is the song for a lot of couples, like, hey, they're playing our song kind of thing. And I really see why that is, because it's really gorgeous. So the song is in E minor, and I believe I heard natural minor scales in it, which is sort of like the basic model of minor scales. Nothing fancy, so it's just a good old-fashioned minor scale. Just like that. I did hear some interesting harmonies later on, and also some chromaticism up there, so a lot of those notes right there being played with, like that sort of thing, little turns and ornamentations. And again, it was a really beautiful orchestral introduction at the beginning too. Almost like an aria, an opera aria. And then to bookend it, a big orchestral fanfare at the end. Loved it. So let's catch some of that orchestral intro and then we can get into the heart of the song again. You hear the tremolo? So I'll demonstrate that. So tremolo is when you take the bow on a string instrument and you do this. And when it's just one instrument up close, you can hear every single little teeny tiny bow stroke. But when you are backed away a little bit with some resonance between the instrumentalist and the audience, and then you have a whole string section doing that all at once, it really makes a neat effect. Okay, so again, that was very dreamy, just in time to get into the main heart of the song. That little upbeat is really exciting. Da-dum-bum. Okay, that little thing that the guitar just did, that little ornamentation. That's the sort of thing that I was hearing. That really gives it some personality. Let's see if we can hear that again. Dreamy.
Nights in white satin, never reaching the end.
It's so gentle.
Letters I've written, never meaning to send.
He's just pouring his heart out.
Beauty I'd always miss, with
Ornamentation of the strings.
What the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, yeah.
The voice cracking. Ah! Harmony. Beautiful. Ah!
Gazing at people.
And more of that ornamentation. Okay, so now that little motif has now established itself. It is an actual motif that we are hearing over and over and over again. And it sort of centers itself on E, the key of E minor. It's so beautiful. So his voice, the inflection that he's putting in there was so beautiful. I am loving this song more and more as I listen to this. So let's move on. So one other thing, first of all, the flute solo was really, really lovely. It wasn't the most technically advanced. It was kind of lyrical, a lot of longer melodic notes, but not a lot of whole fast little notes basically, but it was beautiful. So I don't know if that person is classically trained. The vibrato was not that prominent, but it didn't need to be. It was almost like the vibrato, to me, actually, it was really similar to the lead vocalist here. It's like his voice on a flute, the flute version of his voice. So let's go and hear some of that lovely little flute solo. Okay, so that's interesting. It's a little bluesy there, but then we almost have a little bit of jazz chromaticism happening there. So it's kind of like all the fun in between shocking notes in jazz that you hear. It sounds kind of like Pink Panther or something like that. It's those little jazz inflections. And I think that kind of gives it just enough edginess in that flute solo, where you don't have to have that many notes because the notes you're playing are more impactful. So then there was another little spot where I noticed where the bass guitar was doing a lot of repetitive notes, like bum, 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 bum. And I feel like that was representing someone's heart racing. There was some tension building there, and I was really impressed with that.
Beauty I've always knew, with these eyes before, just what the truth is, I can't say anymore.
Yeah, so all of this is just really, really romantic. It's really nice. Okay, so then I do have to talk about the little orchestral moment at the end because it was gorgeous and exciting. Okay, that's just full on operatic. It's wonderful. I remember that there were these dramatic brass chords, and then the strings were playing way up high, and then at one point everything quieted down and it was just in the lower register with the cellos and the basses. I heard muted brass chords and where they actually cover up the sound, and then I actually heard some cinematic moments where it could kind of start to sound like a movie soundtrack. It was all really well done. But we're still hearing that. I just heard it, in the lower register. And more tremolo in the upper strings. The brass chords. Oh, the singer is just like, you hear the triangle, and the bass, yeah, the trombone. Woo! His hand up there like that. Oh, that was so much fun. And the big part there where the strings were just wailing just as much as that chorus does with the "and I love you" part. Full vibrato, full bow, full tone. That's a gorgeous line. Okay, that was Nights in White Satin and the Moody Blues, and it was gorgeous. I really liked this one. I think this is a song that I'm going to listen to a lot in the future. However, I still haven't heard the studio version yet. So I may need to go ahead and do the reaction to the studio version first. Then I can add it to my playlist. But for now, I can listen to this live performance or maybe a few others that are similar to it and enjoy it because it is very enjoyable. It's really beautiful. So this is definitely going on my playlist. And in fact, I'm probably going to make a playlist of romantic songs and this is going to go on it. Sort of like a love songs mixtape kind of thing. If you know, you know. And this is going to be a headliner on the romantic songs playlist. And I also definitely need to listen to more of this band. Are all of their songs a ballad like this? Do they do more upbeat stuff? And they obviously are together 15 years ago or so what were their careers like leading up to that? Was sort of like on again, off again sort of thing? Or have they been together all of these years? This is the fun part, that I get to sort of find all this out about these bands. So feel free to put stuff in the comments, including what songs of theirs should I listen to next. And as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay. And keep listening.